If I knew what I know now before I turned 31, I would have saved years off of my life and reached success that much sooner. Now, I can't go back, but I can give you the 10 lessons I learned along the way so that you can save time and not fall into the same potholes that I did. And if you don't have 10 minutes to save years of mistakes, by all means, you can go and watch Netflix. But if you have more than the attention span of a goldfish, let's hop into it. And if you don't know who I am already, my name is Kobe. I've been a full-time producer for 6 years now. I quit my job during a global pandemic. Later on that year, I reached the Billboard Top 100. The next year, I became a platinum selling producer, and the beginning of 2025, I won a Grammy. Lesson number 1 is avoiding suffering is what's costing you success. People shy away from suffering and they avoid it at all costs. But in business, suffering is the entry ticket that we purchase to grant us success. It's a payment that gains us access to the freedom and the fortune that we actually desire. The longer you delay suffering, the longer your dreams suffer until they just dissolve into nothingness. We need to fall in love with suffering. Look forward to it and anticipate it and accept it as your rite of passage to success that most producers will never have access to. This is one of the lessons that I wrote down because if you're looking for a painless and easy way to get to success, you'll spend years dancing around the actual way to success and you're just wasting time. Attack what you already know that you need to do and you'll see success a lot sooner. Lesson number 2 is stop waiting for the perfect condition to start. Good producers don't wait for perfect conditions to start. Bad conditions are what repel weak producers. Where there's a storm, where there's difficulty, that's where the opportunity presents itself. When you're faced with bad situations as a weaker producer, you're going to stay indoors when it's raining outside. But good producers know this is where the actual opportunity is to be seized. No one shows up when it hurts. No one shows up when they don't feel like it. No one shows up for the long haul. But if you're a good producer and you show up anyway, if you endure the storm, I promise you, you'll make strides and bounds in your business. You can complain about saturated markets, bad leads, and the algorithms changing on you. And you can blame that on why your business isn't succeeding. But the truth is, you need to do what's required to win. So stop starting when you feel like it. Start because it's the right time. By the way, before we get to lesson 3, if you're struggling to find high quality artists that actually pay routinely for beats, I want to show you step by step how to do this for free. It's exactly what me and my students do. I put together a free course on it. So if you want it entirely for free, DM me the word artist on Instagram at Kobe Sample Source, and I'll shoot it over to you entirely for free. Now let's move on to lesson 3. Lesson number 3 is that rejection should be embraced, not shied away from. There's no pride in living a life where no doors were closed in your face. It simply means you didn't try. A successful person compresses as many rejections into their life as fast as possible so they can see success quicker. They're not better than you. They just don't quit. And the reason I wrote this is because I have been rejected so many times. I thought something was wrong with me. Everybody would be in fear of being rejected, or they would just laugh at me whenever I failed. But they're nowhere even close to where I'm at in life right now because they never failed. You'll never get better if you don't get bruises. And the best way that I've heard this told is that you should start looking for no's instead of yeses. Because out of every 100 no's, you're going to get 2 or 3 yeses. So I get excited every time I get rejected, and you should too. Lesson number 4 is that you never become your highest ideal, but you always become your lowest standard. You probably make tons of Google Docs, notes, vision boards that show exactly where you want to be in life and exactly what you want to do, but you're not where you want to be in life and you're not doing what you should be doing. The reason is not that you're lazy. The reason is not that you don't know what to do. It's that you don't have a lowest standard. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your standards. Whatever you're tolerating right now in your business, that's your real standard, not what you say you want. And I stole this from Alex Hormozi because it is one of the biggest reasons why I can stay consistent for years on end. And I sent 100 DMs to artists every single day for years straight because of this rule. If you approach life this way, your producer career will be a lot better. Lesson number 5 is don't pay attention to bad ideas, especially if they're your own. If you're familiar with how sales funnels work, you start at the top unaware of being sold, and at the bottom is where you have a product presented to you with a price tag and you buy it. And a lot of you are aware of this, but most of you are not aware that your brain is a sales funnel. I mean it in the literal sense. At the top of funnel is your conscious mind. You feed it either positive ideas or negative ideas, reasons why you can do something or reasons why you can't, encouragement or despair. You need to guard what goes in at the top because whatever enters will work its way down and become your reality. And if you've read Think and Grow Rich, you know that the rule that all of men have agreed on across all of time is that you are what you think about it. This idea is even included in the Bible. So whenever I would tell myself things like you're worthless, nobody likes you, artists won't buy your beats, or whatever else it is, it works its way into my subconscious mind and it prints itself onto my identity. You need to be so careful about what you let others speak into your life, but you especially need to pay attention to what you tell yourself because it's not a gate that can be opened or closed. You have to pay attention. Lesson number 6 is that when you're in doubt of what you need to do, always take action. Mastery is the prerequisite for success, but repetition alone won't make you successful in life. However, no one will ever be successful over a long period of time without taking massive action. There's not one single professional sports player that has done less than 100,000 reps in their respective field. You can't cheat it. You can't shortcut it. But by avoiding massive action, you're ensuring that you will never find massive success. Your dreams are dying in your notes because you fail to take action. Lesson number 7 is you are limited, so stop trying to beat things that can't be beaten. And if you're one of those people who likes to prove people wrong like me, then usually when someone tells you what you can't do, you have a visceral reaction to it and you just try to prove them wrong anyways. But in life, there are 3 things that you absolutely can't beat and never will. The first is time. Time will consume your life eventually. Unless any of you watching this are immortal, eventually time is going to consume you. Wasting it is just ensuring that you will never get what you want out of life and it will get to the end of your life full of regrets. So stop wasting time getting behind and then trying to prove that you can do things in less time. And then try to prove that you can see the same amount of success as somebody who manages their time well. The second thing that you can't beat in life is sleep. If you're burning up all of your energy, staying up late, running on fumes, and trying to use coffee or other things to stay alert, what you're telling your body is that rest isn't important, and so you will never see your peak performance. If you're not getting enough sleep, you need to sacrifice something in your schedule like Netflix or scrolling on your phone so that you can get enough rest. And the third thing that you should stop trying to beat is work. And what I mean by this is that if you're looking for ways to do things easily, if you're looking for ways to not do things at all and still get to your goals, that's lazy. And eventually you'll be faced with tasks that you need to do in order to get results that you need to get. If you're trying to shortcut your way around work, what you're telling yourself is that you can be lazy and see the same success that hardworking people do. So stop trying to beat work and accept that there's a lot of things that you're going to need to do in order to ensure that you're ahead in life. Which leads me to lesson number 8, which is just do the boring work. I wrote this: deferring action until tomorrow isn't delaying you from being successful as a music producer. It's eliminating the chance altogether. If you don't take massive action now, you're destroying the possibility of living the life you dream of. It's just as simple as that. If you are doing what I said in the last lesson, which is avoiding work, if you're not even taking the action that you need to do, you need to realize that most things are not going to be novel, unique, and different. They're going to be boring, the same, and repeating. So every day you're going to do the same things. You're going to have to brush your teeth. You're going to have to drink water. You're going to have to use the restroom. You're going to have to talk to people. As a human being, there are things that you're going to repeat every single day, and you don't get tired of those. But for some reason, when it comes to the work you need to do to build your music producer business, you decide that everything needs to be different. This is ridiculous. You need to accept that there's going to be some monotonous, boring, dogmatic things in your business that you need to just do over and over again. And if you fall in love with doing the boring work, I promise you'll be way ahead of all of the ADHD producers who just skip from thing to thing and never finish anything. Lesson number 9 is one of my favorite ones, which is you are the sum of the people that build you. Everything you've learned, everything you've become is the product of other people, not yourself. You didn't teach yourself to read. You didn't teach yourself to drive without watching somebody else. You need to unlearn the lie that you're self-made. Get around the right people sooner. It will save you years. And I say this because I started playing basketball at the age of 10, and my basketball career didn't end until I was 22 playing college sports. And I would have never reached that level without somebody giving me the confidence when I was in grade school. I remember one of my coaches telling me, you can score 20 points a game if you want to. And I looked at myself and said, I can do that. I don't even have confidence. All I have is raw talent, and I don't even have that many skills. But by him just being confident in me and helping me to develop, it helped me to have a career that paid for a lot of my college. If I believe the lie that I am self-made and I can do things on my own, I would have never hired mentors and invested $50,000 in my own personal development so that I could build a six-figure business off of making beats. My producer career on my own was stuck at $3,700 a month. But with help, I got to over $13,000 in a single month off of just music. Which brings me to lesson number 10, which is trying to do everything all at once is exactly why you're stuck. I wrote this analogy to help you understand this. Noise is the threshold of your business. If you want to grow your business, you can't just turn up the volume on all the channels in the mix and expect it to sound better. There's always going to be distortion when you do that. Instead of doing more to compensate, do the same things and subtract to get better results. That's why subtractive EQ is always used first in mixing, because less is more at the end of the day. And so if you've ever been to mixing school or you've studied mixing and you know how to mix your beats, you know that you always want to do subtractive EQing first. You want to take out before you put in. So in knowing this rule, why do we approach our business the opposite way, where we think that we can do TikTok, email marketing, short form, type beats, release our own songs, run ads, send DMs, and chase placements all at the same time? This isn't going to work. I've worked with hundreds of successful producers and almost none of them do it this way. You're splitting yourself so thin that it's exhausting. And you have shiny object syndrome and you go from thing to thing, hoping and praying that it's going to be the savior of your business that gets everything to finally work. But if you're watering 10 plants at the same time with just a little bit of water, they're all going to be stunted in their growth. You need to go and throw away 9 of the plants, take one and put all of the water into that one. And that's how you should approach business. Throw everything else away except what works and only do that one thing. So those are the 10 lessons that I've learned at being 31 as a music producer that are going to help your business to succeed in 2026. And if you're a talented producer, but you're stuck under $2,000 a month, your sales are probably inconsistent because you're relying on algorithms to sell. You've tried YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, but views are still low and artists keep saying, I'll get you Friday. So if that's you and you're looking for a way to get $4,000 sales like this consistently without posting any content or even having a YouTube channel at all, I want to invite you to hop on a free discovery call with me that gives you the sauce for free on exactly how to break past $2,000 a month easily. I'll dissect your business and show you exactly what's holding you back right now. And the best part is that it's entirely pitch free. So you can book the free call through the pinned comment or through the link in the description. So I'll talk to you soon and I'll see you in the next video.